Urban 2456.
State of the Save is back with the holiday special.
Ho ho ho.
Oh ho ho. And all the holiday wishes. Once again, I am your holiday cheer master, Eric. To my right is Michael.
Hello.
Are you feeling cheerful this holiday?
I'm feeling pretty dead tired. It's been a long weekend for me and a long day. I just want to sleep, but I'm here anyway, so let's talk some video games.
Once again, we blame the listeners for making us do this show. Every time it's like, I wish I was sleeping, but now I'm doing this show.
I love this show. I'd rather do this than sleep, honestly.
Okay.
But if I could do this while I'm sleeping, if we could figure that out, that'd be...
It's probably a bad show.
We'd be tapping into something. Or the best show. There's no middle ground for that.
It's just a fever dream.
Isn't that most File Corrupted's?
Yes, they're all fever dreams for us and the listeners. Also here, holiday co-cheer master, Nick. How are you, Nick?
I'm great. How are you?
You didn't do a festive intro.
Yeah, you guys kind of took all the staples.
Well, you would. I mean,
Like,
Michael.
oh ho ho.
Yes, it was.
He said oh ho ho instead of ho ho ho.
We gotta restart the entire damn episode. Can't be doing like that. Some guy went straight to the comments section on the local podcast app there and was like, "These idiots can't say ho ho ho." Yeah. No, this holiday special. Very, very excited. Hope you are enjoying your holiday season. Not getting too stressed out. So while you're doing your fun holiday shopping and family events that you probably don't want to be at, you can put this on instead and have us in your headphones instead of listening to your uncle. Today we got fun stuff going on. We're going to be talking about our Game of the Year awards, particularly pertaining to video games we played on this show, because everything exists within the State of the Save universe. And
There is no other games besides the one we played.
Exactly. Nothing else exists. A podcast dedicated to playing old video games cannot be like, let's talk about a bunch of new video games that we didn't talk about on the show. But it's going to be a fun time. Got some special surprises for you here on this holiday episode. Let's go ahead and jump into some things. We were going to talk about some trailers, some announcements. The Jeff Keighley sponsored video game awards existed.
They did exist.
The video gamers, because every time I think of the video game awards, I think of awards like gamers. All got together and we all voted. We went to the polls and we have selected this year's video game awards. And not a single one of us at this table watched the video game awards.
I watched a lot of Twitter and refreshed to get those announcements.
I don't think I have ever cared about the video game awards outside of the announcements since they were on Spike TV and they were the most cringe factor, horrible, degrading thing to watch. Like, it was watching the video game awards when they were on Spike TV made you have, like, you held the remote in your hand. So if anyone was to walk in, you would be better off changing it to the porn channel and being caught watching that than watching the Spike Video Game Awards, because it just made you feel like it made me actively hate video games watching the Spike Video Game Awards. Did anybody watch these back in?
I was younger than you, so I think I did, to the point where I didn't know better. I was just like, this is what life is like, apparently. Hey, AFI's here, all right.
Yeah, like I was a very young teen, I want to say, because this is early 2000s. This is like height of Spike TV. Is Spike TV still a thing?
Oh. I don't know.
I have not had cable.
No,
I don't think
Mansers is on TV anymore.
Yes, Spike TV had high quality content like Mansers.
That's good stuff.
I want to say The Man Show.
Probably. Like 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah, 1,000 Ways to Die.
You're forgetting MXC, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, the greatest show.
Which was just like a ripoff of like Japanese game shows.
Lots of a Japanese game that they just dubbed over.
Really?
I think so. I could be. I don't know. It was like Wipeout, but like 10 times more insane.
Cops There was just like 1,000,001 versions of Cops.
That's just G4.
That's what G4 became.
And now they're back, so.
And then at 9 o'clock on Spike TV, it just became a constant stream of Girls Gone Wild DVD sales pitches.
That's not 9 o'clock. That's like 3 a.m.
It's like 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
My time, I was
That's like when you stay at over like a friend's house and you guys stayed up real late and then it's just like you knew it was time to go to bed because it was like the tropical
yes,
music comes
it was
on.
always the tropical music, and it was always like the same 10-minute loop.
Yeah.
But they played it for like 3 hours long. I was like really pushing those discs, and it was like 3 discs for like $40 or $30. It wasn't a bad deal.
Different
I imagine.
times.
It's different times. It's back when you had to acquire your pornography on discs and magazines. But
my cue to go to bed was always when Squidbillies was on.
That what?
Squidbillies
is amazing.
I'm about to say that would be the cue to stay
This
up.
is why I stayed up.
No.
I mean, that was
Don't touch the
adult-
trim.
because
Could not get into that to save my
Oh
life.
my
I
god, that's
tried.
so funny. So stupid.
I don't think you
Oh.
knew some of the people that me and
Aqua
Nick.
Teen is the peak that I will go to for that insane level of humor. Squidbillies were just like a small bridge too far.
I don't think you knew the same people that me and Nick knew. So, like, we would watch Squidbillies, and there was a good chance I could look at Nick right now and start listing people, and they would be the same people that Nick knew that were basically the cast of Squidbillies. So it hit differently when you're just sitting there putting faces on these characters.
I can see that, yeah.
I haven't had cable in like 10 years, so like I don't even know if Adult Swim comes on.
Yes.
Like what time that comes on anymore. Cause
Probably like 8 o'clock.
it's like I imagine
They got that Blade Runner show going right now. So.
Okay. See, I'll just watch things on streaming, but like that was something nice about having to stay up to like midnight to watch those like the edgy Adult Swim content back in the day, especially because I was younger, so that stuff was even more edgy. Like I imagine going back to it now, how many years later it wouldn't hit as well. But when you're like 15, that stuff hits like dead on. You feel like you're on the cutting edge of art.
I remember the first time coming across Adult Swim because it was Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, and I was like, "Oh, Scooby Doo's here!" And then someone says, "Damn!" and you're like, "Oh my goodness!"
Oh no, Scooby! Why? Why are you associating yourself with these hoodlums?
And then you watch, and then you go, "No, Harvey." Then you discover Harvey Birdman is probably one of the greatest TV shows of all time. So
it's a good show, but it
Love
was
that.
like the soft entry into Adult Swim. Like they would put
like
Harvey.
Futurama, Family Guy was off.
That was the stuff
King of the
they
Hill.
would play in like
King of the Hill.
10 to 11 or 11 to 12, and then like 12 to 1 is when shit got weird. Where it was like he was Metalopolis, is it
Metalocalypse.
Metalocalypse. He was Squidbillies, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah,
And it's
that
like
was-
later on into the night, you get into like more and more obscure stuff. Like it's just like 15-minute shorts that people
Yes.
are drawing, and they're just like, "All right, yeah, fuck it, we'll air it."
It wasn't even like early Adult Swim. Even wasn't it wasn't even a show. It was like here's a one-off 15-minute cartoon someone made, and you'll never see it again.
And then just a bunch of Tim and Eric.
Which I never got into.
My friend watched that like unironically when he was in the 3rd grade.
Is
I was just like, yeah.
Is this the same guy? That
Yes.
Okay, that makes all the sense.
And I was
in the
just
world.
like,
I'm just as lost as you are. Was just nod my head.
I don't know. It's weird, man. It's not for kids.
it's not for kids at all.
I was so young that like now growing up, I think that Tim and Eric shit is funny, but I didn't understand why it was funny when I was young.
The concept of like my daughter is around that age, and like I could not put that in front of her. Why would I do that? So the concept that explains everything about that person. If you know. This is very specific conversation. I apologize, but
Game Awards.
going back to the Game Awards, the Game Awards was everything that I hated about getting into video games as a young man. Because it was an excuse for them to put celebrities on there that cared nothing about fucking video games. And it was an excuse for, like, it was the one time that they would put these people on there. They would actively make fun of video game people. Like, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm glad all y'all put your Cheetos and Mountain Dew fingers away to turn and watch me on Spike TV." And it was always, like, B-list celebrities making fun of video games. And it was so weird compared to, like, the normal content that a guy like Jeff Keighley was putting out at the time. Because he was doing, at the time, a show on Spike TV that I remember was staying up. It was, like, Saturday night that it would come on at, like, midnight. that was like the first like actual like 30-minute video game program that did a bunch of like interviews with developers.
I remember seeing trailers on that
was
thing.
It Game Trailers TV or something like that?
That was on there, but I think I don't know if they came later or something.
He had been running a show for a while, and it was actually like, I hate to use this term, but like mature, looking at video games in a like, hey, this is a legitimate thing. And we're going to talk to the creators that make these games, show off stuff coming up, get into like the developers. And then he would do the Spike Game Awards, and it was like, here was Mia Kunis making fun of us all eating Doritos on stage, and then telling us that God of War is the best character of the year or whatever, that Kratos is the best character of the year or whatever. And so the fact that here in the year 2021, A, the Game Awards still exists, and B, that it would put out, in my mind, better content than most of the E3 press conferences this year.
Gearbox wishes they were Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, I mean, I can say maybe 3 press conferences this year.
Wait, didn't they show off Homeworld here too or something? I think there was a trailer for that.
They probably did, because he probably, to be honest with you, he's probably been showing off Homeworld at every single press conference that exists. And just none of us have been aware of it.
We at Gearbox are very excited that we're making Homeworld 3.
If you want to go back to and get that joke, go back and listen to our E3 show. But there was a lot of good stuff shown off here. I'll go ahead and jump into my thing that I want to talk about that you guys don't care about, but I care about deeply, is that Space Marine 2 was announced.
I am very happy for you.
Yes, I think a decade ago.
That sounds sarcastic, but
no, it came across very much like, I am very happy to you, and like you walk out of the room and kick a puppy, like, fuck that guy getting him Space Marine 2. But he gets a Space Marine 2 before I get a new F-Zero.
Wait, yeah!
Another F-Zero.
Now I'm mad.
You got more F-Zeros than I've got Space Marines. Games Workshop puts out a shit ton of Warhammer video games. 1 in 10 is worth playing. A lot of them are very bad phone games and shit like that. But about a decade ago, there was a game called Warhammer Space Marine, a very generic title, but actually was a very good, in my mind, kind of entry point into Warhammer. You play as a member of the Ultramarines. It is a third-person shooter / hack and slash. So it's got some of the third-person shooting of like Gears of War that's popular at the time, but then it's got the hack and slash stuff of a fighting game. Not a lot of combo heavy, but a lot of like weapon variation heavy.
Okay, you have my attention.
Yeah, so you
All right.
go back and forth between a third-person shooter and a like a hack and slash action adventure game.
Okay.
And it had a decent story. It ended on a big cliffhanger. It was of a good production value, which is a big thing for Games Workshop to actually put money behind a video game. And it's been a thing that just made a lot of sense. It was a no-brainer to kind of make a new one. I don't know if it sold very well, but here we are a decade later, and Warhammer was a lot bigger thing than it was back then, and it's a lot more financially viable. And so the fact that it's taken this long to get this, the fact that we received a 3-minute trailer that was a very good cinematic trailer that was very exciting. It showed a lot of progression in the story. So this has been a thing that's been talked about for 10 years where people have like guessed what happened to this character.
He never appeared in books or anything
no.
after the fact? Ooh,
No.
Okay.
Is getting really deep into lore here. It is debatable on whether this is all canon or not. Warhammer canon is very, very difficult. When this trailer dropped, there was about 20 to 30 200 comment long pages on the 40K lore subreddit of people trying to figure out how this falls. Like
Into the current timeline of
there was a
events?
point in which you said you did not want to watch the trailer because you knew that I was going to force you to play Space Marine.
Oh, that's a season 3 game for sure.
Yes.
If they remaster that.
And I told you would get nothing out of this trailer. But I can already tell you that it's been 200 years since the last game because the dots on his forehead.
But then I remembered I watched it because I remember seeing a trailer with a guy with a chainsaw blade, dual wielding a pistol, a chain sword and a pistol, and I was like, "This seems cool."
That's Warhammer.
All right, I'll play that thing.
And there was actually a little bit of gameplay footage at the end. I looked at the studio because I don't think it's the same studio. The original game was released by 2K. And the studio, it's not the same studio, but this studio did a lot of work on things like the the Halo Master Chief Collection. They seem to be like a part of,
Okay.
they were like the relief group that came in to try to get that thing fixed.
They're the fire department.
Yeah.
They rolled in when everything was
and
on
it's
fire.
being published by Focus Entertainment, I believe.
Focus Interactive. Yeah.
Who is a publisher that I am always interested in because they put in stuff like they put out World War Z, which is like a surprisingly good 4-player like horde shooter. They put out the Necromunda game for Warhammer. That was like a Doom kind of clone thing.
We know that one. We heard you talk about that one.
Yeah. So like they did the Hood Outlaws game. They've done a lot of like weird, interesting games that are kind of niche games. But I really hope this maybe is a breakout project for them. I've always been interested in the stuff that they put out.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I really want to check that out. Specifically part 1. If they ever make that easier to play.
Like it is not currently backwards compatible. It is available on PC. They actually did a nice re-release recently that put all the DLC, which the DLC was mostly like a horde mode and a bunch of multiplayer stuff. But I feel like
it's got to be coming, right?
It's got to be coming.
It's got to be.
That was the only indication that there was a possible sequel coming because that happened like 6 months ago. They put out like a 10th anniversary for it. And like people were just kind of like, well, clearly this is going to be here. And then there was a Warhammer Games Fest where they showed off a bunch of their games and it never showed up. And so everyone was like, Games Workshop sucks again. Fuck them. Burn them down. And
isn't that just every week?
Oh, it's every week. Yes, it's the only fandom that actively hates the people that makes the stuff.
Not the only.
Well, it's not,
I highly doubt that's true.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind. I just described fandom. The Halo guys say hi. But no, it's a bunch of good stuff there in that game. Anything else, Nick? I know you didn't watch a bunch of stuff from it. But there was several really good things I thought that you would be interested in. One of the big ones being Alan Wake 2 is announced. We here at State of the Save are big fans of the Alan Wake game.
We're all going to play that day 1, right, for the show? We have to, right? In 2023?
Yeah, and the fact that it's 2023 makes me sad, but I'm excited that exists now, and it's a legitimate thing.
And that they're going full-on survival horror with this one.
Did you? I just watched the trailer.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, I don't plan on watching much else. Because
I want to go in as well. This is the only thing for me. I'm not going to watch a single trailer for this because I want to know. I want to be surprised with every aspect of this game. I might watch one gameplay breakdown just to see how deep in like the survival horror they go. Because I don't know if they'll be like, there's crafting in this. Or...
I feel like
you gotta craft a really good flashlight by getting flashlight pieces.
You gotta dig up lithium from the earth. It's all about rare earth minerals.
Like Alan's over there duct taping batteries together. Oh man, no, I'm very excited about this. I'm glad that it seems like it's got the reaction that I'm
so
like,
happy.
I personally really, we did Alan Wake as the first game on this show, and then we revisited it this year with the 2 DLC chapters. But I was like, well, I don't know what the general like video game public feels about Alan Wake.
I think they don't care about it at all.
No, I saw a bunch of
it's a cult thing. Like the people
who
love Alan Wake love Alan Wake.
I'm not talking like.
But I feel
I
like
you
now
meant general video game people.
But the remaster is out now. So the fact that they've and the remaster I think is on sale right now for like $20. So hop on that thing if you haven't played Alan Wake, because that game is really good. And I think Control also being a big hit for Remedy with DLC ties to Alan Wake. This is the time for our boy to come back.
I get what you say. I agree and disagree with what you say, because you're like, you think they don't care. Like, yeah, the guy who buys Call of Duty every year, Madden, and maybe one other game doesn't give a fuck about Alan Wake. Mm-hmm. But I feel like a lot more people than I thought gave a fuck about Alan Wake. Like when I saw that release, as I scrolled through the Reddits of non-Alan Wake fandom, there was people being like, oh shit, Alan Wake's getting a new game. That's cool. Like there was more, it popped up more than I thought it would. Like I thought that maybe it was me and like 30,000 other people who gave a fuck about Alan Wake. and it looks like maybe it's like 100,000 people. But I'll take it. And
enough people to make a sequel.
It's enough finally.
One line crossed another line, and they're like, all right, let's do it.
Finally. We have successfully reached the threshold. Deploy the Alan Wake 2. It is not next year, but a next 2 years from now game. So that's kind of sad.
Take all the time you need.
Yeah,
make
I
that
just
thing
want it to be good.
Ooh, ray tracing. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. Nice lighting on these new consoles are going to work really well for a fucking Alan Wake game, ain't it?
Oh, my... Oh, yeah.
What happens, though, if they don't even do the lighting stuff? Like, Alan now has a machine gun and shoots everything.
He has a lantern in the trailer, like, lying his way down, like, what looks like a darker recreation of Bright Falls or something.
I hope it's not Bright Falls.
I don't think it will be. It made it seem ambiguous about whether he escaped the darkness or not, even though like we thought he finally did at the end of the DLC. But that might be.
We have not played the Control.
We did not play the Control DLC,
so we do not know where that puts Alan. And also American Nightmare, which is on my hard drive, because it is a free right now on Game Pass. You can play American Nightmare like anytime you want. So I don't know. We are a little bit behind. We got to catch up on the tale of Alan Wake.
We have plenty of time to catch up on the lore of Alan Wake.
Some could say we have over a year. But anything else, Michael, that popped into your head during the trailers that they showed off you would like to talk about?
Monolith, the team behind the Shadow of Mordor games, is making a Wonder Woman game.
Yeah, I saw that, but there's nothing. They just showed a teaser trailer.
Just the idea of Wonder Woman with a Nemesis system is like, okay, cool. I'll play that.
I would like a cool Wonder Woman game. Nick has a hatred for DC Comics.
Yeah, I just don't really care about them at all.
You have a hatred for DC.
Yeah.
Me and you got into comics at about the same time.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey man, you want to read this? I don't know. JLA run? You're like, fuck that JLA. I ain't reading that shit.
Yep.
You're a Marvel stan to the end.
That's right.
And I appreciate that because 99.9% of the time you're generally right. But a cool Wonder Woman game would be nice. I would like to see that.
And they're finally re-releasing Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Yeah.
So that's going to be cool. It's a fighting game consisting of characters with Persona 4 and Persona 3. So I want to do some fights to reach out to the truth. So
okay, that's the thing you can do.
Yep. So because that was never made backwards compatible, and it was out before I really got into Persona and re into it with 5. So I definitely want to check that out. That's going to be on PS4 and Switch. So I'll definitely check that out.
When's that getting? Is that a coming up next few months release?
I forgot.
Would it be in a PS4 release?
Everything's pretty much if it can run on PS4, they're gonna put on it's a remaster of a game that came out on PS3.
Okay.
So if it can run on both, why not just put on the one that the more people have?
I guess, yeah.
That isn't. Well, I say isn't hard to find, but our PS4 is easy to find right now too, because I think
probably not.
I think everything's just a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a horrible time to try to buy video game equipment. Speaking of DC Comics, they did the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We actually saw a gameplay trailer.
It's the Sunset Overdrive sequel.
Yeah, and that made me a lot less interested.
What? I like Sunset Overdrive.
I like Sunset Overdrive, but I was a little bit like... I have an issue with games that have like a bunch of characters that have different fighting styles, because generally I like one of the... Like, I think about the last Devil May Cry, and like 2 out of the 3 characters I liked a whole lot, and one of them I didn't really care for. So it's like you feel like you sludge through those sections just to get back to playing as Dante.
I remember you were the only guy who watched the Guardians of the Galaxy game trailer and went, yes, you only play as Star-Lord. When everybody's like, oh no, you only play as Star-Lord.
I'd rather play as one character and have a really big, robust, tech tree and this, that, and the other, than playing as a bunch of characters, because then I'll know inevitably there's going to be somebody who I don't give a fuck about. And I'm going to be stuck playing as like Killer Shark, and I don't want to play as Killer Shark.
I want to play as Killer Shark.
Oh, yeah. But, and then last
also
thing...
as King Shark. The man's royalty, sir.
Yeah, true. Last thing is they showed off a very fancy, very nice Star Wars trailer. And then I was actually interested. I was like, this looks kind of cool.
It does look cool.
Then Michael told me, like, hey, you know who's making that, right? And I said, oh, no. Fuck those people. Fuck David
Cage and Quantic Dream.
Yeah, fuck those people.
After all the stuff that went down with... I don't have time to get into it.
Yeah, no, we don't have time to get into
it.
Type
in Quantic Dream scandal, and then you'll... oh my god.
Hey, he's not only just a pretentious asshole. He's not just a pretentious asshole.
He's an outright asshole.
He's an outright asshole. So,
but he's making a pretty Star Wars game, so my morals are conflicted. I'll hate myself while playing it.
He's going to fucking heavy rain the shit out of it.
Hey, I like it.
You're gonna
I'm a heavy rain defender, but I also like Screw David Cage.
You're going to spend less time having cool Star Wars moments and more time, like, talking about, like, the meaning of being a human in the galaxy or some shit.
You want to know something?
What?
That's my favorite part of Star Wars. Let's just sit down and have a conversation about the Force for 90 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, this is compelling stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's do this.
I'm glad that you and David Cage enjoy that one aspect of the Star Wars universe.
Midichlorians.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
never.
How you feel about your talking about the Force now, motherfucker?
I mean, like the philosophy of the Force, not the scientific mechanisms of the Force.
Listen, he was talking about how it connects us all through little amoebas in our blood. Oh, yeah. See, that line of thinking led to freaking midichlorians. See, this is what happens. George Lucas heard people like you talk about how much you like the philosophy of the Force. He's like, let's give him that for 3 fucking movies straight. But fuck that guy. So I don't even know if I even like want to support that game because that guy's a piece of shit. Other than that, there's a couple other little things I saw. There was like a cowboy game that I saw that looked cool, but I don't even remember the name of it. But it was interesting stuff. It was worth talking about. But now let's talk about the stuff that we're actually fucking here to talk about.
Speaking of award shows.
It's the award show time! Cue the music. We don't have any music. So, how this is going to work, we're going to have a very special guest come up on stage here. They're going to announce the... Nick is desperately looking around at the stage. Nick, we're supposed to be making a visual gag here. So we're going to point over that direction and act like there's a stage. And they're going to announce the category, and they're going to announce the nominees, and then we will talk about these nominees and figure out who is the definitive State of the Save 2021 winner of that particular category. Are we clear? Maybe. Let's go. First guest. Come on up here, first guest.
This is Eric's wife, and he's forced me to announce these nominees, so here we go. For State of the Save's Holiday Award Show, their first 2 categories are Best Moment-to-Moment and Best Atmosphere. The boys are so lazy they put the same games in both categories. And the nominees are Sleeping Dogs, Resident Evil 7, BioShock, and Dishonored.
Hey, you did great.
Shut up.
Okay. Awesome, man. Thank you for announcing that. It's almost like I'm not entirely sure which guest that was. But for our category, best moment to moment. So I've already screwed up the category. No, this is the one. It's been referred to by other video game sites as the best running around. It's the best feel, the best vibe,
kind of best gameplay. It's thrown in there. It's
the best way to describe it is it's the best game that you enjoyed minute to minute throughout the whole experience. So that takes into consideration gameplay.
The most consistently engaging
yes, because there are some games that are like a solid 7 out of 10 engagement the entire game. And then there's other games that might dip to like a 3 out of 10, but then hit heights of a 9, 10 out of 10. These are the most consistent
I wonder what you're referring to.
Game. Yeah, exactly. Those games that will come up later that we'll be talking about. So, our nominees are the Sleeping Dogs, Resident Evil 7, BioShock, and Dishonored. So, let's go through these real fast. Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs.
So, Sleeping Dogs is a damn good video game that I feel like is going to get overlooked a lot on this very top-heavy list of games that we played this year. But, correct me if I'm wrong, Sleeping Dogs does not have a moment throughout that entire game where you feel like it's the the running its wheels kind of moment.
Every single gameplay mechanic they introduced feels extremely solid and natural in the world itself. Like, just when you think they're going to be like, okay, is this game entirely melee combat? They hand you a gun and be like, okay, here's some really sweet gunplay. And then here's some racing missions to, like, expand on the driving some. They're constantly throwing things at you, and because of that, the missions are always engaging. There's a lot of side content in that world, like the karaoke stuff. Again, like the side races, like the underground fighting ring. You have the cop missions. You have the triad missions. There's just so much in that game, and I don't think it ever feels like overwhelming. But at the same time, it's like not. I always feel like I'm having fun while playing that thing.
I always say that I don't like the Ubisoft version of open world games, where it's like, here's 150 things on this map you can do, but like 75 of them are boring as shit, but 25 of them are really good. Sleeping Dogs, I don't feel like it suffers from that, because even the side missions, like the racing missions and things like that, they're interesting and engaging enough that I don't feel like there's a bunch of chores in between doing the shit I want to do. And like that's my issue always with like the Ubisoft games. Like you play the modern Assassin's Creed, there's a lot of good stuff in there, but also there's a lot of chores, finding papers or fetch quests and things like that, where it's like I would rather you cut all that content and just let me get to the good shit.
There is some of that stuff here with like the shrines and everything, but it's always like I'm never going out to like seek them. It's always when I see they also have that like glowing beam of light whenever you're near there. So
and they're so like they're usually in places that you're going to end up anyway.
Also with the jade statues that upgrade your combat trees, you will always, if you're playing the missions and doing at least some of the side content, you'll have them all except for like one by the end of the story.
Yeah, like they're in the single player mission, like the main story missions, and like they're usually pretty obviously like placed. Like I remember one in particular when you're in the garden dressed as the monk. Like, you're literally walking the gate, and directly up the hill is one of the statues glowing. Like, it's hard to miss. It's not something like hunting down the feathers in, like, Assassin's Creed or anything like that.
Or there's thermoses in Alan Wake.
And because of how they're located, it's just like a quick, like, 2 steps over as you leave your apartment to grab the shrine. Compared to, like, the Alan Wake situation where you, like, here I am busting my immersion in this ward by going around the woods in the middle of the night looking for a fucking thermos. You know, you don't feel like it takes away from the game.
And also the combat is amazing. And those environmental kills never get old. And the gunplay is really cool. And, like, constantly doing slides in slow motion and chaining headshots together will never stop feeling good.
No. It's amazing that they didn't have something that they dropped the ball at. You know, we talked a lot about the Sonic Adventures 2 and how only one of those characters is worth a damn to play. And this is a situation where every single aspect of their game seems to be tailored and well put together and thought out. And there's not something that sticks out to you as a negative experience, which is hard to do in an open world game. It's something even like you would say like Rockstar is like the masters of open world games, right? They do them very, very well. But there's always something in a Rockstar game that you don't like, whether it's like hunting or you know, some aspect, or the shooting in most of the Grand Theft Auto games is not very good and stuff like that, where there's always something that feels off. The fact that they kind of hit all the beats here is impressive. I will say this though, I don't know if it hangs with the other 3, because I don't like the ward as much. I think that's the only and it's not Sleeping Dogs' fault. They are doing an amazing job at kind of create. We all said that we felt like we understood what Hong Kong looked like, even though we've never been there. Like it felt like Hong Kong from someone who's only seen it on like TV and movies and stuff. But that also limited what they could do, if that makes any sense, because the other 3 games on this category has the ability to be more fantasy and more, you know, bombastic.
Yeah. Let's get into those then. So next is Resident Evil 7.
The
constant oppression of just all joy you could possibly have, but in the best possible way, I would say.
It was a spoiler for me. This is like my opinion on the one that should win this. Because Resident Evil 7 sets out to scare you. It sets out to make you terrified. And damn, it does a good job.
Through that, almost through that entire thing, there is a point where it becomes like more action-y near the end, where it kind of loses that fear that it has over you. But that being said, it's still fun to play, even when I'm not scared. Like killing molders with an assault rifle, it still feels good.
And it feels like at that point, because of where the story is,
that it's earned.
It feels like you need to get to that point where you feel powerful. Because, like, in most survival horror games, you start off feeling weak, and by the end you feel powerful. But here, it keeps you weak for so damn long. Mm-hmm. Like, you're 2/3 of the way through that game, you're still a glass cannon that can be torn apart by one enemy. And like I said, I think the big thing is just tone. It never takes its foot off your back of your neck in making you feel a fear, feel oppressed, feel weak, feel vulnerable, feel like everything is a potential threat to you. And from a design point of view, I think combat feels amazing in RE7. It feels like you don't have any of the clunkiness of a lot of survival horror games. Inventory management and things like that are very streamlined compared to a lot of old school Resident Evil. And to me, it sets out with one goal in mind, and it doesn't ever
to mess
that
with
goal.
you.
Yeah, the goal is to make you take you off foot and make you afraid.
I think of that moment where I opened the door and then Marguerite was on the other side of that door and just scared me, and then I died like a minute later. So I was like, "Well, screw you! I'm going through the other door," and then she was right there. So it just triggered. So I was like, just. I think of that moment, or like the moment where like the clown grabs you and it describes loser on your arm, and that's the password. Just like the game knows you're gonna be scared of it and is laughing in your face.
And it does such
literally at points.
Yeah,
with that.
And it does such a great job of making you do things you don't want to do. Like I talk about just opening a door in Resident Evil 7 is something that I had to kind of. Get the shoulders back, pump yourself up, do a little bit of jumping back and forth, and okay, let's open the damn door. And most of the time, nothing was behind the door. There was very little enemies in RE7. There's reoccurring enemies, but I'm talking like the molders and things like that. But there's not a lot of them.
But it has me run back to the save room constantly because I'm like, something's gonna happen.
And even the run back to the save room feels potentially dangerous. Like, because who knows? Oh, yeah. Is there going to be something at the save room now? Like, you just never feel... Like, you compare it to, like, the RE2 remake and the RE3 remake, which are wonderful games, but, like, they follow somewhat of a Resident Evil, like, pattern, so you can kind of figure out when you're going to be attacked and when you're not, or when you should be on your guard and not. Here, it throws that out the window, and it just constantly puts you off foot. You never feel like you have a grasp on the situation. You always feel like you're hanging by your fingernails.
That's a very good point.
And that moment to moment is amazing. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that they don't make that tiresome. Like I talk about the Alien Isolation.
Alien Isolation.
And I talk about that. That's a game that made me very scared.
That's a great game that is extremely poorly paced.
Exactly.
Resident Evil 7 is perfectly paced. The exact length it needs to be.
Exactly. Like Alien Isolation is too long. And you deal with the alien in places for too long, where he stops being this thing that's scary to you, and it's just overkill. Like I
killed you 4 times. Can I just end the game already?
I never can get away from you. You're just constantly there. Jesus Christ! Yeah. And this doesn't fall into that trap. And I think it's a wonderful pick on this category. Mm-hmm. Also on here. Nick, real quick on Sleeping Dogs, because I know that you were a fan of that one. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you would want to throw in there for that one? I mean, I don't want to... We're going fast, so I'm sorry if I jumped over you.
Oh, you're good. I would say that's probably what I would pick for these, just based off of... I didn't play Resident Evil. I have played Dishonored. I just feel like there's not a point in the game where you're, like, walking through hallways or corridors waiting to get to your next thing. It's like literally like if you're not fighting dudes or pushing them onto, swordfish nose things, you're driving around.
And then have all the dudes freak out whenever you do that.
Yeah.
Just pick up their leader and stab them on a swordfish.
Yeah, you're just driving from place to place. Like you can jump off these stairs when you're going to your next area, or do what I did and just open the door and knock down pedestrians.
Oh, yes.
Just fun stuff and like little tiny things like that to kind of entertain yourself from point A to point B when you're not doing these crazy story missions.
I feel like this is the toughest category that we
so.
are going to deal with, because like I sit here and like we're about to have to get to the fighting stage of this where we have to pick one, but none of these, like if you told me like Sleeping Dogs is your pick and Michael told me like let's go to the other two in a second, but if Michael's like BioShock is my pick, well I'm not going to be able to like kill your darling real quick, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't have like 6 trump cards in the back of my pocket that I can pull out and be like, yeah, but you remember Sleeping Dogs sucks at this and Sleeping Dogs sucks at that, or BioShock has a problem here. Like, these are very consistent games, and they have such a high quality for such a long time. It's a lot harder to kind of kill your darlings on this. But the other two we'll get into real quick is your BioShock, which, have you played BioShock, Nick? I feel like you...
I've played it,
yeah. Yeah, because you've played through that.
I didn't play it for the show,
but you've played it in the past, and I can tell you playing the remastered edition is fucking trip, man. That game, they did a wonderful job on the remastered edition.
Stunning a dude with a lightning bolt and then switching to your shotgun and then one-shotting them will always feel good, no matter the context.
And plus also talking the fact that environment-wise, it's one of the best places in a game. Like they set the tone of that environment and that ward so well that I can picture Rapture anytime someone asks me about it. Like if you walked up to me like describe Rapture to me, I can start describing specific rooms and specific art styles and moments very quickly. The only thing I would say about BioShock that maybe is something like a downside to it is that I do think BioShock runs a little bit long in a couple of spots.
In a couple of sections, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this to be over to go on and see the next section of this.
Once the Atlas reveal happens, I feel like we should move a little bit quicker into the end game. But there's so much prep with like become the bad guy, and then like let's not forget the pace killer at the end. Like I just want to say up front, BioShock's a great game, so everything I say against it is just pettiness. But no,
there is the pace killer near the end of that game with that stupid escort of that little sister just gave me flashbacks to the Eva escort from Metal Gear Solid 3. Where I'm just like, this is, I'm just ready to wrap this up.
There is the problem that, like, a little sister can straight up get killed. And the game's just like, oh, what a shame. Here's another one. And it breaks any of the, like, emotional connection you're supposed to have. Because it's just like, and she's dead. Time to give you another one so you can finish this gameplay defense section. That would be, I think, what would like disqualify it from winning this category.
I don't think it wins either. But again, it's hard just to be nominated.
Yeah. And then
Dishonored, we were very impressed with like especially the first half of like Dishonored's gameplay and how open that gameplay makes you feel. Like we tackled all our missions besides like the ones near the end that are pretty much linear and straightforward, very differently, and we both had an amazing time with especially that first half.
I bragged on Dishonored that anytime I felt like I should be able to do something, I was able to. Like if I was like, well, I should be able to like teleport to those pipes underneath this bridge and walk my way underneath the bridge and then teleport my way back up. Or I should be able to climb this tower over here and sneak along the edge and shoot the guy through the window to kill the guy and assassinate this guy. 9 times out of 10, that was an option. You know? And even if it wasn't an option, there was a good reason. Like, I could get halfway there and realize, oh, damn, there's half the walls down over here. I won't be able to sneak by. It didn't feel like I was hitting developer-set barricades. I felt like I was navigating in a real place. The combat in that game is, like, you're vulnerable in a combat situation, but it doesn't do the bad thing in a lot of stealth games, which is get caught and instantly regret getting caught and consider just reloading.
You have options.
You have options to get yourself out of that. Like, I got pretty damn good at one-on-one fighting one guy to kill him to keep him from getting to alarm or something.
One thing I will say about the game is that I think its detriment is that it doesn't keep that up through every mission. There are some missions that are just, especially once you get past like the point where you're like assassinating people and just becomes like a normal stealth game at that point. Whereas just like I feel I missed a lot of like the open-endedness of the first half, especially. But that first half is so strong that we have to talk about
it.
Yeah,
but I would agree.
It doesn't.
It suffers a very similar thing to BioShock.
Yes.
That when the reveal takes place, there's a little bit too much padding there between the reveal taking place and your beginning of the revenge. Remember,
but that revenge is so good.
Oh, it's very good. But there's best moment to moment, and I'm thinking particularly going to get your equipment.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That's about an hour.
There's freaking poison plants, and
that's about an hour of gameplay that is not
could have been
as fun.
15 minutes of gameplay.
It has some amazing highs in that game.
Yeah.
But damn, that part right there does kind of, in me, break the moment-to-moment category away from it.
So,
Nick, I've never asked you, because you played Dishonored. How do you feel about Dishonored? Do you like that game? Like, it's just...
Really?
Yeah. We were very, very high on it.
Especially the first half. Like, yeah.
Like, I would love to, like, sit down and talk to you about that one time. I know we can't do it now, but... Because I would love to get someone's opinion on it that didn't connect with it. Because to me, I was really impressed with where that came from, because I didn't see like my love of that game coming from there. I didn't really go into it thinking this is going to be a game I'm really going to connect with.
I got Deathloop because I liked Dishonored so much.
Yeah, but yeah, me and you need to talk about, like, kind of real quickly, kind of just give me like a why that didn't connect with you.
So I didn't play it at the same time that you guys did. I wasn't on the show, but I played it closer to the time it came out. The way that you guys talk about this game is the way that I feel about something like Breath of the Wild, but I don't feel that way about this for some reason. I can't really peg it.
I get that.
Like the way that you guys talk about how like open-ended it is, and like how you can theoretically do anything that you are looking to do in like a kind of homebrew way. To me, it's just like this is the same thing I don't really get with the Hitman games. It's just like you dump person in a level and you're just like, go kill this person or go kill these people. It doesn't ring with me. Like it's just like me walking up and doing it, and it's just like, I did it, guys.
I think in some ways it can be a time and place thing.
Yeah. Because
like there's times when I sit down to play a video game where I'm like, I want to play in the world, right? Mm-hmm. Like I really want to. Like I think I'll just use Hitman because that's really the appeal of Hitman, right? There's times where I would sit down and play that game and I'm like, I want to play in this world. I want to, sneak around. I want to try to really act like I'm, being Agent 47 and find a creative way to kill this guy.
And then sometimes you're like, I'm going to disguise myself as the flamingo suit and see how far I can get.
Yeah, but then there's other times where it's like, this is the optimal way of doing this. Like, the best way to kill this guy in Hitman is to probably get on this balcony over here and shoot him in the head with a sniper rifle and then sneak down the pipe. Mm-hmm. And that might not be the fun way, but it's the easiest and quickest way, and the way that makes the most sense. And it's almost like depending on what mood you're in can depend on how you make that first impression. And I feel like once you've made that first impression, that can set you down the line of how you're going to enjoy this game.
Like I made the choice early on that I was going to kill as very few people as possible, and because of that, and because I was limiting my play style in such a way, I felt like that made my strangely made my options like more versatile, because I wasn't thinking about just killing them. I was like, okay, I can sneak past them here, I can choke him out and hide the body over here, let the air guy like freak out. While he's freaking out over this body, I've snuck around them and gone through this path over here.
Well, and like I played very much like in character. Where I was like, well, my guy's killing people that are unnecessary. He's trying not to be overly violent. And then there's a turn in the game in which I turn my character to a different kind of person because I feel like he's been changed by the events. But I got into it with that mindset. But then I think about other games that I've played where that stuff's there, but I just didn't get into it, and it's almost hard to break away from it. Like when you figure out how to play through a game, it's hard to break out of it. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like once you set yourself down that path, it's kind of hard to break your way out. And you can make an argument that the game allowing you to do that can be considered as a negative for the game. It shouldn't have made it so easy to kind of do a less interesting way of playing it. But I get what you're saying. Like I'm trying to like get out why I like a first impression on a game can really kind of set how you're going to feel about it.
Oh yeah, I mean I completely understand why people enjoy these games.
Yeah,
I just think that I lack the imagination to be like, all right, well I'm just gonna wait for like 3 minutes here while this person walks into a room and he's alone, and like my eyes is all just like. And again, this is just my play style. It's just objective based. Like, I know that dude's right there. I know there's 3 people in this room. I know I can kill all 3 of them. Let's get it done.
And like, that's a valid way. That's a valid way of playing it, and it's a valid way of saying that's why I don't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
You know, and
then it's also like I see the novelty. Like I've watched a playthrough of the latest Hitman game where 2 people just how are we gonna get the RNG? Like who can do this the fastest? And, like, let's just see who can kill all these people on a running timer the fastest. And, like, stuff like that where people, like, can... I know we're not even talking about Hitman, but that's really where I'm at with it.
Yeah. I think that's the easiest one of these to, like...
Like, analog. Yeah. It's just, like, where people will take the rules that are, like, pretty fast and loose in these games and then make their own rule set. I think that, you know...
It's how much are you willing to engage with the game in a, like... go into the game with a willing, like, I am here to play with you and figure out your systems and try to explore how far I can push your systems.
Yeah.
Compared to, I am here to beat the tape. You know, like, I am here to beat you.
Right.
Compared to, I am here to play your game. It's 2 different mindsets.
Yeah.
And that happens in a lot of games. I think once you kind of set yourself on a path on one, it's very hard to break yourself off of it. I think Dishonored and Bioshock's kind of weak zones there towards the finish line disqualify them from winning this category. Is anyone willing to disagree with that?
I'm not. This is between Sleeping Dogs and Resident Evil 7.
That's how I feel about it. Yeah.
Let's take a vote here and see where we fall. What, Nick? Your pick was Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sleeping Dogs.
Okay.
I imagine you're Resident Evil 7.
I am Resident Evil 7.
Oh no, I'm deciding vote and I'm torn between both of these.
Let me sway you in a way that's unsporting.
We will make
Eric nominated fucking Resident Evil for every category.
Goddamn, love that game!
Except for one, but he even chose it for soundtrack. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I just feel like I have a vendetta against Resident Evil.
We're going to be talking about Resident Evil 7 today.
Here's the thing. Yes, I did. Because I damn love Resident Evil 7. But here's the thing. I will put a hole in my own argument with Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 has one goal and one trick, which is to scare you. Sleeping Dogs has a lot of different kind of goals throughout that game. Those moments where they want you to be emotionally invested in your character's journey. I'm thinking about scenes like the wedding. I'm thinking about scenes like the ending where he has his big revenge moment. And then those moments where you want to just be a badass, triad guy. And there's some comedy in there, like, the nightclub scenes and stuff like that.
The pork bun guy.
The pork bun guy. Real man eat pork bun.
There's only one game. There's only one game on this list with Old Salty Crab, too.
Salty Crab. Or foreverly named as Krusty Krab. You do the feng shui moment where you change the feng shui. I would make the argument that Sleeping Dogs is trying to do more, and that is impressive compared to Resident Evil 7 trying to do one thing, and it does it very, very well.
I thought of one thing that is making me lean Sleeping Dogs, and I'm sorry for taking outside context into this argument too, but this was the 4th time I beat Sleeping Dogs. Something just every few years keeps me coming back to the world of Sleeping Dogs because I always have fun playing that game. Between the combat, the races, it juggles so much and doesn't feel like a jack of all trades, master of none. It all feels tight and fun. I believe. And you almost had me with Resident Evil 7. I was about to, and then I remembered how many times just I keep going back to Sleeping Dogs because it's so much fun, and how I never get tired of the combat, I never get tired of the gunplay, of the racing, of holding A to get the arrow timed right so I can leap from one car to another, and then after taking that car, hitting X to side swipe another car, Burnout style. And okay, yeah, my vote's Sleeping Dogs, I think. After thinking about that, so it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that Resident Evil 7, because I agree Resident Evil 7 should be nominated for most of these categories we've chosen too, but
I think
I'm voting Sleeping Dogs.
I would make the one argument with Resident Evil 7 that Resident Evil 7 does such a good job of making you feel afraid that I don't want to relive that moment.
That is true.
Like, that's why I wouldn't want to replay that like every year. But I am not going to fight hard on this because Sleeping Dogs, I think, nails the spirit of this category.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, not to move on too quickly or anything, but that's why with that point is why I would concede any other argument besides BioShock and Resident Evil for best atmosphere. Because the things it sound like that you enjoy the most about Resident Evil 7 is that stuff. Like, what I've played of it, it's a very oppressive space. Like, you're literally walking through just a house with, the knowledge of what might be on the other side of a door or something, like Michael said.
And just that house
and
is...
like, just persistent dudes. Like, you're just with this family that's fucked up and scary.
I think of like the child's bedroom where just like the ball will bounce on the floor, and it's like the scariest thing in that moment where you just see the shadow on the wall and you're freaking out.
I think 100%.
Also, we need to say formally before we move on, congratulations, Sleeping Dogs. Best moment of the moment.
Dogs. Yeah, Sleeping Dogs.
Now we're on the best atmosphere, which are the exact same nominees.
Yes. Is it the same nominees?
It is the exact same nominees.
Okay.
Sleeping Dogs, Resident Evil 7, BioShock, and Dishonored.
I feel like this is a little bit easier, though. BioShock and Dishonored, to me, are very similar atmospheres. Like, they do award, like, BioShock's award is, of course, the Art Deco failed experiment of a city that has obviously gone into ruin. It does that amazingly. But it I just don't see it holding a candle to.
I don't understand it all. Rapture is BioShock is Rapture, and Rapture is like the most like fully realized environment in all the video games.
I ain't arguing that, but I don't see it holding a candle to RE7. Like, I'm gonna make that argument again. RE7 is not going to win every category, and I'm not going to vote for it for every category. But I am going to say in this one, I feel like if there's any category that RE7 wins, it's best atmosphere. Because yes, Rapture is an amazing city, and it puts you in that place, but it also loses some of its quote unquote specialness. Like, I think about when you're down in like the pumping stations, the Andrew Ryan office area. Other than immediately outside of Andrew Ryan's office, a lot of that is just pipes and water being ran through pipes. There was a lot of great moments, like the theater and the arts district.
Just the reveal of the city itself.
Yeah, all that shit's amazing. Don't take this as anything but there is also a lot of moments where it becomes pumping stations and just underwater generic stuff. When you go back to to become the Big Daddy, I think, to be honest with you, it's the post Atlas reveal stuff kind of hurts it, because a lot of that stuff just doesn't feel as special than the game starts off with when you're in like Fort Frolic.
I think you're right.
Like
I think you're right about it's all the stuff we think about when we think of Rapture and BioShock is in that first half.
Exactly, and that stuff's amazing.
Oh, it's the best.
It's not like when you come
games,
down, when you get in that lighthouse and you come down in that lighthouse, dude, that shit's great. Like,
no gods, no kings, only man.
And
all the banners all over the place and everything like that.
And for the time, like, we have to take in the time period too. There was another game doing that shit. Like, I feel like it's a great, like, but in Sleeping, like, being kind of putting my stuff into the context. Like, Sleeping Dogs is amazing, but it's Hong Kong. You know, and it does a good job in that, but it's not got as much to do with the play with there, which I think I mentioned in the last category is kind of a downside that they don't have a control over because their story is set in a real place, but it loses some of the specialness, quote unquote, of it. And Dishonored does an amazing job of being a rundown Victorian steampunk ward. But the thing, like, if there's one category on here that Resident Evil 7 should win, it's best atmosphere.
And
like,
I think I'm willing to concede that point after talking about it, because just me getting excited over like just like a ball bouncing in like the kid in like the children's bedroom.
Jeez, dude, you want to talk about like a moment where I had to buck up and fucking be a goddamn man, because I was playing that game a lot, very late at night. I had a long walk day, you know. And there was the scene when you have to go get the item from the child's, the playhouse that is in the child's room. And having to leave that room was goddamn terrifying. It's one of the scariest moments I have ever had in video games. Because you feel like you know something's in there. You can't see it. It's dark as shit. No matter how fucking hard you turn up your light in the damn game, it's dark as shit. And it's constantly... and playing that thing with a good set of headphones, hearing noises constantly to the side, the way that no matter where you are in that house, you can always hear the wind against the shutters and the wind against the windows. You can always hear the creaking of the house. You can always hear movement.
Even the house at sunset at the very beginning is terrifying too.
Well, like, yeah, like even when you get there and it's quote unquote the stage setting where you should feel safe because it's daytime, you don't. And then like I think about the backyard. Like, the backyard is a hub area that leads to the other sections of the game. Theoretically, it should not be that scary. But being in the backyard of the house both feels like a fresh air because you're at least outside. And you're like, well, at least I can breathe, I can move. But even in the backyard, there's so many, like, dark corners in the corner of your eye. Like, looking over at the tool shed to the left. Or knowing that, okay, over here is the trailer. I'm going to go to the trailer. And the trailer theoretically is safety, but the game continues to fuck with your understanding of safety. Mm-hmm. So every time I went in that trailer, I didn't know if that fucking freak, what's his name, the son?
Lucas.
Lucas. I didn't know if fucking Lucas was going to be in that goddamn trailer. Like, I went in that trailer, guns up, ready to go.
Every single time, yeah.
It's a safe room in Resident Evil.
I always made sure I had bullet slid before I went to a safe room. Which is...
In Resident Evil, safe room is safe room. You go to the safe room.
But here, I'm like, I don't trust it.
No, I don't trust any of them.
The only thing I would say against Resident Evil 7 is the boat is 10 times less visually a tenth of the visually interestingness. I can't speak. The ship.
The initial, like, when you get to the ship in, like, present day or the flashback?
Well, both. None of it has holds a candle to the house, is what I was trying to say. I fumbled my words there.
Yeah, no, you're right. You are right. But I will say the boat still gets across. Like, I feel like especially the Mia flashback, when you are on the boat with the assault rifle and you're playing as a more competent character at that point and things haven't gone completely to shit. I feel like you still have some... It's still a good environment, and it plays its purpose.
The salt mines not the house, but I would say
salt mines is very short.
Yeah, but I would say the house is so strong that I think after talking about it, I think the house wins it for Resident Evil 7 itself because that house is so just walking in and moving like the handle of the pot over. It just seemed like
all the grubs and shit in there, or the fucking granny.
No.
Every time going down, when you go into the basement and you flip on your flashlight as you walk into the blade, and there she sits.
I never took my eyes off her.
The pump room, and you're just like, what the fuck are you doing down here? Or when you're at the table, and everyone leaves the table except her and you break free and you get out of the table sequence, but she's just sitting there watching you.
And then she's inconspicuously at one point at the top of the stairs, and you're like, how'd you get...
Yeah, or every time you open up a door and there she sits, and you just know something's wrong with her, but there's nothing you can do to her.
Yeah.
And, like,
yeah,
I feel like if there's one category this game is a shoot for, It has to be best atmosphere.
Yeah, you convinced me. I was all here.
Yeah.
I was all in here prepared to go. BioShock wins this easy. What are we talking about? But
Dude, I can tell you just so many moments. I play a lot. I think I play more horror games than y'all do, and that's not like I'm a brave guy. It's just it's a genre that appeals to me more. That most horror games, the best they can get out of me is like a jump scare. This is the only game that I sat there and was like, I fucking don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do what the game is making me do. Like, I think about the tape sequence when you have to do the basically fucking torture room with Lucas as the flashback, and knowing this guy ain't got out of this alive, and just not knowing what Saw-like mechanic is going to fuck me.
And his playhouse with like Saw and everything, and it's like the aesthetic too of like the videotapes and everything, and how they act as tutorials, like kind of plays into like the atmosphere too of like just those videotapes.
The opening
videotape
like, of the camera crew when they show up at the house, and like knowing things aren't going bad, and remembering going into the fireplace, and that's where Lucas grabs the cameraman and drags him off, and then the game's like, you have to go to the fireplace.
Yep.
And at that point, remember, you are not armed at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having to go down where the cameraman was grabbed by a psychopath is like, fuck. I feel like it's a shoot, man. Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You convinced me.
Yeah.
I think we all agree now that 7...
Yeah. I'm not.
Congratulations, Resident Evil 7, best atmosphere.
And like, understand, I'm not going to say Resident Evil 7 wins all these categories.
I mean, it's a great game. You have a point for all of these that they're nominated for. I nominated Resident Evil 7 for this next category.
Who we will hear about right now.
Hey everybody, this is John. I was on State of the Save this year when we played and discussed Undertale, and I realized what a true monster I was for all the terrible things I did in that game. Anyway, for Best Villain, the nominees are good old Jack from Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Welcome to the family, son.
Gary from Bully.
Why not? I won! I tricked everyone! Starting with you, the head, the loser kids in town, and the prefects. Me! I won! I might be sad, but I run your world, moron! And don't you forget it! You did all my dirty work for me, Hopkins. You're like a puppet, only dumber!
Andrew Ryan from Bioshock.
In the end, what separates a man from a slave? Money? Power? No. A man chooses. A slave obeys.
And Liquid Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
With all the lies and hypocrites running the world, war isn't what it used to be. We're losing our place in a world that no longer needs us. A world that now spurns our very existence. You should know that as well as I do. After I launch this weapon and get our $1 billion, we'll be able to bring chaos and honor back to this world gone soft.
Thank you, honored guest, for our next category. Best Villain, man. This has been a season with a lot of damn good villains.
A lot of great monologues.
A lot of good monologues. I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. I know, Michael, you actually suggested Jack from Resident Evil 7.
This was the one I put Resident Evil 7 for.
He's a damn good villain, but man, it's a heavy list.
This is a tough list. So I put Jack for two specific moments. One, when you think you outran him in that hallway where you put him in the kitchen and you're like, oh, this is a freeway. And they just bust through the wall.
It's a damn good moment.
And then the chainsaw fight, of course.
You have a chainsaw fight with that man where you fight him head to head with chainsaws.
Where you're both pulling the chainsaw on the body at the same time and revving it.
You both run towards the chainsaws in a body. They're both stuck in a body.
If you were shirtless on top of a mech, this would win.
Oh, yeah. But you literally like both grab the different chainsaws at the same time and rev them. So it's just like everyone, like, it's like that scene where you pause and everybody looks at the gun. And then everybody goes for the gun at the same time. It's like that feeling. But just fighting him with the chainsaws is great. He's a he's a good reoccurring villain that doesn't outstay his welcome. But damn, this is a heavy list.
This is a heavy list. We love Jack. Just the fact that like after you think you kill him in the boss fight and you put the gun at him, he's like, that's not gonna work, and he shoots himself in the head. Yeah. And then comes back later.
He's just like, here, watch, bam.
He's like, that's not gonna work.
It's a damn good boss. He's a damn good villain.
Good old Jack.
He's a good villain in a game with a lot of good villains.
Yeah.
But dude, there's two big players in this category. In my mind, Andrew Ryan and Liquid. Andrew Ryan is a character that, for a guy who has so little actual on-screen time, you only see Ryan face to face for
once,
like 2 to 3 minutes. Most of your interactions with him is through a radio.
But that 2 to 3 minutes
is amazing.
Might come up in another category.
Yeah. But my only argument against Ryan is, does that hurt him enough compared to someone like Liquid? Who, yes, you deal with Liquid a lot through radio conversations. But also, when you do meet Liquid, he does not disappoint. Like, the fact that not only do you fight him in a giant mech, not only does
you fight him on top of that giant mech.
Then you fight him shirtless in a fist fight on top of a mech with a timer.
Counting down like your boat's inevitable destruction.
Yeah. Then he shows up again and chases you in a Jeep. Then he shows up again at the end of a Jeep crash. And the thing with Liquid is that I think he has going for him is Liquid sets the entire pace of that entire franchise. Like, Liquid sets into motion everything that's going to happen in the Metal Gear Solid franchise.
From this point forward.
Yes.
We really know Ocelot's the one, the puppeteering
but he
everything.
sets into motion his decision to, start the Shadow Moses incident and his reveal to you about the Super Mega Baby Project.
Super Baby.
I just want a T-shirt that just says Super Mega Baby Project. And I know it's not called the Super Mega Baby Project, but I just keep adding adjectives every time I say it. So by the time I say it next year, it'll be like the Super Ultra Mega Saiyan Baby Project.
I want to make a punk band called Les Effronts Terribles.
The Terrible Children. Liquid is so over the top. But, as a guy like myself who doesn't usually go for, big anime-style villains, I still had a hard time hating Liquid. I was like, Liquid's fucking cool. But I feel like there's two extremes here. You have Liquid that's the over-the-top, classic, superhero, anime, video game villain. And then you have Andrew Ryan, who is a lot more subtle, but... damn, there's so many amazing moments with him. Like the moment when he talks about he's going to kill you and add you to all the people on his wall outside his office. And he's like, when I kill you, I will throw a parade. And all the children will point and they will ask, who is that man on the wall? And
so good.
Or, the moments when he's constantly trying to piece together who you are. He says you're KGB, and then he says you're CIA, and then he actually figures out, oh, you're one of Atlas's.
You belong to Atlas.
You belong to Atlas. And
that line just resonated with me somehow, and I was just like, something... That's why I was like, oh, there's something deeper here happening.
And this is my selling point, when Andrew Ryan becomes Andrew Ryan. When you're at the trees, the area that produces all the oxygen for Ryan, and you listen to the audio log where he talks about that he owned a portion of a national park, and they were going to take it away from him to make a national park, and instead he burned down the forest. And then he makes the statement if I can't have Rapture, no one will. And he just burns the oxygen supply in front of you.
I'll burn
and it's
the
just
forest down.
It just shows how petty and how if I can't be the man, no one will. I will burn all my work and my creation to keep it from falling into your
I would
fucking
destroy.
hands.
I would destroy my creation before I see it in the hands of someone else.
Like, and
a great villain, also very like behind the scenes villain who you don't see much. Like we didn't talk about Gary, who's also a nominee on this list, who is that type of villain too. But I think Andrew Ryan is that type of villain better. But Gary deserves some points for not even just being mentioned for chapters, but you can feel his presence everywhere.
the fact that Gary exists in that game in 2 chapters out of 5.
But he's present through all of it.
He's constantly setting the stage in all the other chapters. And you as the player, like Billy, can kind of like, he gives you just enough time that you forget about him.
Where you're in the same situation
like,
as the main character.
You're
Where
like,
you're
yeah,
like,
really,
he's not a threat. We don't need to worry about him.
I really am taking over. And then you realize, no, fuck, he's been playing you the whole entire time.
He just had to get you started on your quest, knowing that you'd finish it himself. So all he had to do was knock you out, and then there's a power vacuum.
He also has a great villain speech at the end on top of the clock tower of the school, being like, "You idiot! You fell right for all of it. It was me the whole time."
In the pouring rain, he was just one brother away from me.
If we would have took his shirt off and yelled, "Brother!" it would have been right there with Andrew. It's very similar vibes.
So, yeah, it is. You're fighting on top of a giant thing, literally fisticuffs, except Liquid Snake probably a much harder boss than Gary.
Yeah.
Gary is a pushover, but he needs to be, because just beating his face in.
Gary needs to be a pushover. Gary shouldn't be difficult.
Beating Gary's face in is an honorable mention for best moment.
Yeah. Nick, what's your thoughts here? I think we all can agree we love Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to play devil's advocate on this one, for me personally, Liquid's not even the coolest villain in that game.
Wait. Yeah, Ocelot's
badass.
I would make the argument that that's right.
But also, we don't know Liquid Snake's story as we know it right now is over. We know Ocelot is still out there.
Yes.
His is not complete.
I feel like
there may be another time to rediscuss Ocelot later.
I feel like there will be a day in which Ocelot will be on the best villains list and be a shoo-in. But I feel like you
Ocelot
are right.
Let's just rename category. Ocelot presents best villain.
Sold. No, I feel like the winner here has to be Andrew Ryan.
Yeah.
Andrew Ryan.
I am 100% Liquid Snake, but I know what I'm beat.
Dude, Liquid, I think you are. I think the point Nick makes is probably the strongest argument against Liquid. Metal Gear Solid is a game full of some pretty good villains, and
I almost wrote Foxhound on this list, but I'm like, that doesn't count.
That
doesn't count.
I feel like if you did that, you would actually probably win, but I feel like that would be cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't ignore the contributions to this that Decoy Octopus has.
The Decoy Octopus.
I'm Decoy Octopus the whole time.
The fact that
and it changes nothing.
I told you how I wanted to replay up through the Liquid fight. So I had a save at I had the physical save at the Vulcan Raven boss, and then I just used the save state stuff on the PlayStation Classic to finish the rest of the game. So I started back up at my physical save, and I beat Vulcan Raven again, which is very easy once you beat him the first time, because it's just like stingle missile.
That's pretty much all the bosses in that game.
Yeah, but
once you know the pattern.
Then I was going to skip the cutscene, but then I just had to watch it just to re-listen to the Decoy Octopus reveal, and I'm just like, this fucker comes out of nowhere again. It's like, and then that was the DARPA chief. That was Decoy Octopus. I was like, yeah, why? We see Decoy Octopus like one time on screen.
He dies of a heart attack.
Yeah, I was like, he's like, and he puts his blood and transfers his blood. I was like, that's a weird. I did use my opportunity this time to kill a raven, because I was like, Nick told me I can kill a raven, so I kill a raven. No, I feel like Ryan has to be the winner.
It's Ryan. It's Ryan. I'll concede Andrew Ryan.
And I think because the best moment coming up puts him. I mean, Liquid's speech is great, but Ryan's speech is pretty fucking great, man.
Gary's speech is great. Jack's speech when you're talking into him in the void, where he's like, Yeah, man, I didn't mean to do it. I mean, I was just.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to do this. I don't think that hangs a candle to the other.
It does not. It does not. But man,
it's good. But
some
it's
great
not.
monologues.
Yeah.
If we name this best monologue, it'd have the similar result too.
Yeah. But I feel like it has to be Andrew Ryan.
Yeah.
Andrew Ryan, winner of best villain. Let's listen to our next category.
For best moment of the season. The nominees are When Mia Attacks You, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. The ending, Bastion. A Man Chooses, a Slave Obeys, Bioshock. Realizing Night Trap is actually good, Night Trap. Thanks again to the guys for having me on, and here's to another great season ahead.
All right, thank you. Woo. Next category is best moment. There is some baller ones on here. This is the one I'm most excited about.
Yeah, and too many honorable mentions to go over. This was hard to narrow down.
Been a damn good season of moments. Let's go ahead and throw one out here, though. I think you're 100% right by putting it on here, but I don't think it hangs. Would be the moment we realized Night Trap isn't bad.
I was going to push that to the top, cause just hi Eddie, bye Eddie. Nice of you to drop by Eddie. Let us know when you're gonna die Eddie.
You need to sit down with us and play Night Trap, especially now that me and Michael are Night Trap professionals. We can get you through the story in one sitting. It's only a 30-minute guarantee.
You've been caught in the night trap.
What we need to do is
we need to do the board. To the top this goes. I'm not letting this go yet.
This is just us making plans again. But the night we do this board game thing that I want to do, we'll play Night Trap because we can play through it in 30 minutes.
We're gonna.
But it's a very good game. But no, Night Trap. Yes, Night Trap is not nearly as bad as we have been made to believe. We have been told for years Night Trap was the definition of shitty video games.
And when the gears click and when we finally figured out how to play. And we just had the best time for 2 hours just playing that thing.
I thought it was only 30 minutes.
We sucked for a long time.
Sure. We had to figure out what the passcode. We had to change the Wi-Fi password like 10 times.
Yeah, they kept changing it. We didn't know which scene it was.
But then we got 2376. Go here. Go.
Yeah, and then we got in the time codes But then we also wanted to watch scenes that you can't watch because you got to watch other scenes. So we couldn't watch the music video all the way through because we had to watch the other scene.
And then we flipped to channels, and all of a sudden the guy's just like blowing stuff up in the middle of the woods.
He's shooting shit in the woods.
Like the scene from Predator, he's taking a remote control and just blowing up trees. And then we hit the checkpoint, so we couldn't see what the full context was of that.
And then we had to intentionally kill people just to see what happens, see if you can kill people. Like, yeah, I can just kill this girl. No, Night Trap is not nearly as bad as we have been told to believe. I will say this, Night Trap will have a better standing on the list than we thought it would. Come back next episode for State of the Saves list of all games being updated. But dude, there's 3 items on this list of moments. And this was a year of many, many really, really good moments. Would you kindly...
Paired with the Would You Kindly reveal, paired with the A Man Chooses, a Slave Obeys speech, Ryan's whole monologue.
Yeah,
basically.
I guess we have to say spoiler because there's always one guy who listens to this shit and like, fuck y'all didn't tell me that on this show about talking about video games, in depth detail. No one told me there would be spoilers for these games. No, like the Man Chooses, a Slave Obeys moment. Where you get to Ryan and it's the Manchurian candidate thing, right?
You kill the main villain and it's not triumphant.
No, you feel like lose. He wins. Ryan proves his point.
Yeah.
Ryan does not lose in Bioshock. When he realizes it's all coming down and you finally get face to face to him, and then he makes the decision that to prove it, he's so fucking petty that he will kill himself to prove a point. And literally...
It's literally burning the forest down mentality on himself.
That's foreshadowing across the board. When he makes you hit him and kill him. And as every time you hit him, a man chooses, a slave obeys. Bam! A man chooses, a slave obeys. And it's like 4 or 5 hits to kill him. And the fact that he's doing it just to get that last war... He gets the last word and then goes to the grave, and you will never get to one-up him. He proves his point. And damn, no matter what you do in that game after that moment, Ryan proved his point. He successfully bested you. And that's a damn good moment. And if you never saw it coming, or you never experienced that moment,
Which is not the experience I had because I grew up with Eric and he ruined that game.
if it makes you feel any better, our mutual friend at the time, Ricky, ruined it for me too.
Well,
so I was.
that doesn't make me feel better.
I just
knew Would You Kindly was a big deal, and I think it had some. I was thinking like it had something to do with like every time you say "Would you kindly," they're putting you on the right path, which is kind of right. But I didn't know this scene was coming. That he was going to use that mind control to kill himself with it was
even if you know the bit, right?
It doesn't take it away.
I would make an argument that yes, the reveal is taken away, but the way he goes about it is so it's so well done in nailing the fact that he has complete control over you. Because if you remember, he makes you kneel.
Kneel, stand, run, look back.
And when he tells you to stand, even he puts the golf club like under your chin. Like it's so degrading, and you feel like this motherfucker. Like, and so you think the concept. If I told you after that scene, if we stopped it right there when he's doing the kneel, stand, run back, run forward, thing. You think if I told you you could beat him to death with a golf club, you'd be like, I feel pretty good after that. But then when you finally get to, he takes that away from you too.
Or you think what he's going to say is, go kill Atlas.
Yeah, you think he's going to turn it on you, but instead, because he does, it's more important to him to be right than to win. The fact that he will win by just making you do that, like I said, you beat him to death with a golf club after all the things he put you through, and as you are doing it, he's still fucking winning. And it becomes infuriating, but at the same time, it is an amazing moment.
Great writing.
It's a great writing. It's probably the peak of that franchise's writing. And I would say that as someone, like I know a lot of people like the string theory stuff of Bioshock Infinite.
I'm one of those people.
I like it too, don't get me wrong. I like it. But I don't think it touches that scene. That is the peak of Bioshock, that particular scene. Like, I think Infinite's concepts are better. I think Bioshock is like a moment is the Andrew Ryan confrontation. I put the Mia stuff scene on here because I like the presentation of that scene.
That's the moment when you realize this game is just going to...
When you realize that Mia is quote unquote possessed, we use the word possessed, when you realize that Mia is like possessed, quote unquote, and she turns on you, and I think in particular the scene when you walk up the steps in the basement, and you turn back around and you look into the dark, and then she comes crawling up the fucking steps. It's goddamn terrifying.
And her constantly going back and forth.
Yes.
Like, as you think you kill her, the last thing she says to you in her creepy voice is, I love you.
But over the scene, well, she flips in the fight. There's a moment when you're about to gain the upper hand, you overpower her, and then she switches back to Mia. And Ethan Freak kind of like hesitates, and then she switches back again. And it's such a... She fucking cuts off your hand. Like... Now, and they just sew it back on. I don't quite get that part.
We haven't played 8 though. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping in 8 they explain why Ethan can have his hand just sewn back on. But the fact that Mia, that scene, and I think about the stairs scene because that's something that bothered me for many, many days. Like just the way she comes out of the darkness, and you just because she's right behind you, and you're in the escaping sequence where Ethan's found his wife, he's getting her out of there, and it's just like you walk up the steps, and you just assume Mia's behind you, and then you turn, looking down in the dark, you don't see anything, and then up crawls Mia out of the steps, super fucking fast, and then beats your fucking ass, like throwing you in the bookcases.
Before she chops off your hand, she stabs it with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
And then she's like, and then like you get the sense that like, wait a minute, this is the combat tutorial? I have to kill my wife? Oh my god.
Wait, but then the fact that when you get in the combat tutorial, you begin to like, okay, I fucking play some video games. You fucked with the wrong guy. And then every time she switches back to me, you're like, well, what the fuck do I do now? And then she switches again. I think it's the realization that this game is not going to be easy on you.
Mm-hmm.
and it sets the tone for the entire story, right? You know, it's why Ethan can't just leave.
Mm-hmm. He has an emotion. He has a attachment here now.
Because there's multiple moments where you can make the argument Ethan can leave. Like,
just go. Just get out.
And
if you can get out.
That's a horror movie trope. Yeah. I mean, but there is moments where Ethan should be able to probably leave, but Mia forces him to have to stay. And also there's moments where, like, if Mia was just evil all the time, you can make the argument you need Belle. But the fact that obviously something left of Mia's there.
The moments of humanity are what keep Ethan going forward.
Yes. And then it sets the stage for the Mia section where you play as Mia. Damn terrifying moment. But
and then there's the emotional moment.
Oh yeah. The big one. Bastion. One of the episodes that, if I encourage anybody to ever go back and listen to an episode, I think Bastion would be one of them, because I'm kind of proud of that episode in some ways, because it was one of the times where we kind of got to expose a game maybe to people that has a message that's not obvious, if that makes any sense. Like,
I'd say that, yeah.
Like, and it sounds really like masturbatory to be like, I'm proud of that episode, but I kind of am. And if you ever want to like if you ask like what's the Eric choice of State of the Save episodes, I would say Bastion's one of them. Mm-hmm. Bastion is a game that for so long in that game it holds its cards back, but when you finally have that ending sequence,
all the way up from like when you start the last mission.
Yeah, I would lump all of that together.
Yeah, like the last hour. Essentially.
When the kid begins the journey, the final journey,
and it's
during the day skip.
It starts out as like the movie montage where you're on a journey and you're playing through that. It's not just a cutscene; you're playing through.
Yeah,
that,
the fact
and it keeps cutting. It keeps saying like 2 days later, then you're at a campsite and you're ambushed,
and then a week later you'll climb a mountain.
Yeah,
It's
a journey.
I am going to make you play Bastion.
I didn't get to it for this. I do plan on getting into it before we.
You can knock it out very quickly.
Yeah, I do that list.
I would love for you to play it before the list.
Yeah,
and it's a game that's very much something that you need to experience, and it's a game that's really worth. I loved Bastion the more after I talked about it.
Exactly. I felt that way too, and I almost don't want to spoil this talking about the ending for Nick, but I feel like we have to discuss why.
No.
Well, we did do a whole episode where we did. So
go back and listen to that if you want to know our thoughts on the ending.
I would say that I'm proud of that episode. I don't know what we talked about before we talked about Bastion, but I am proud of that Bastion sequence. In particular, the last 30 minutes of that episode when we talked about the ending of that game.
And the ending being so
powerful.
Strong.
It's a powerful ending that I feel like the concept of really getting across what history means to you as a character and what your history of your people, the repercussions of your actions, not just of yourself, but of your society that you grow up in.
And how we can remember our past, learn from it, and be better while still reflecting on where we came from.
You can reflect on where you come from, even if it's something bad.
Yes.
And use that as a way to improve yourself and be better. And not repeat the mistakes that you made in the past without forgetting the past. Like, we talked about this a lot, but the big message of Bastion is when you know your entire history, do you choose to ignore it and run and repeat the actions that led you to the where you are today,
in hopes that maybe this time it'll go right?
Maybe, basically, are you willing to just forget about it, forget your history, and just try to do it again? Maybe this time it'll work out. Or are you willing to actually learn the lesson, deal with the repercussions of what you did, which is a big message of Bastion, and try to set things right in the future. And the way it did,
what happened in the past is always going to happen, but we're going to try to move forward from that.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
but you can improve. You can change what you do tomorrow.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do about yesterday, but you can change what you do tomorrow, and that's a message that is very powerful and is very potent in the day and age we live in today.
More so than I think when it came out.
We talked about that a lot. Where the message of that today of learning from the past and not trying to forget what happened there and actually trying to take those lessons and being willing to deal with the repercussions of that. You know, that one of the biggest things that reminds me of that sequence is when you as the kid, I'm going to spoil it, but this is kind of important. When you as a kid decide not to carry the weapon, you got the ability to choose violence or to try to rescue this villain.
Knowing that the peaceful solution will probably kill you.
The fact that the enemies don't just not attack you at the beginning.
And the fact that
they attack you, they fight you because you have given them every reason to do that.
And usually in games, the peaceful option is the one I gravitate to. But even I had to pause for a minute and reflect on what I'm going to do in that moment.
Because it goes forward and it shows you that they are right there. They outnumber you. They are going to kill you. You don't take this weapon with you, you don't stand a chance. And
they have no reason to spare you.
They have no, because you've not given them one.
Yes.
You haven't given them one. And instead, when you choose the peaceful option, my favorite thing, this is when I knew it hit it right. When you initially hit that first line of the enemies, and they attack you. They don't just see you taking the peaceful option and be like, oh, what's going on? No, they attack you because every single time you attack them.
And as you move forward, like the character, you're like, this is where I die, and I'm okay with that. You're embracing death in that moment.
And they're hitting you. You're getting hit from all sides. And you just keep moving forward. You keep moving forward. You're getting hit. And then slowly but surely, the enemies stop. And they stop in waves. There's maybe 40 of them hitting you, and then there's 20 of them, then there's 10.
It's not all at once.
No, it's a slow progression. And then when you finally get to that point when you've been beaten down, the only thing you could do is heal and just heal yourself to try to keep yourself going. And you finally get to that point where they stop attacking you and you just keep walking forward and they're just watching you. Is when it actually, to me, got the point across. If the first thing you did when you walked out of there when you're carrying him and you're not actually taking the weapon with you and they never attack you, it would have missed the entire point. But the fact that it does start off with you taking a beating, but then slowly but surely by staying the course, you're able to reverse a centuries-long, system of warfare and death and destruction by choosing to try to be better and trying to learn from the past.
This might be my a top 3 favorite ending of all time in any game for me. It's and even just talking about it again makes me emotional. Just I know we love Andrew Wright. I think this wins.
I have no way to argue against this.
I was ready to be like Andrew Wright, but once they started talking about the ending again, all those emotions coming back to me, the ending of Bastion wins because the ending of Bastion is Bastion. And
that's the thing. All the subtlety of Bastion. And Nick, as someone who's going to play this, I'm going to encourage you to try, and to anybody listening who's going to play it, just pay attention to what they're telling you. And it makes a lot, that game holds its cards for so damn long. It's a very short game. How long?
4 or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours, I think, max. And it's an enjoyable game. The combat's fun. The ward is interesting. It's not... The moment is good. But what it does so well is it holds back its cards. And so when it actually lays them on the deck and you realize the full extent of what you went through, it just hits. And it hits perfectly. And it's a moment that, like I said, I don't think there was a moment in video games in the past few years that I've experienced like that one. And it hit me to a point that I sat down and thought about it a lot. We were kind of still in the middle of lockdown stuff going on. It was early in the year when we played this. And so I was sitting on a Saturday. I didn't have anywhere to go or anything. I just kind of sat there and thought about it. And then when we did the show, it really, it gave us time to explore our feelings on it. And in the world we live in today, it resonates so powerfully that I don't know how you could not be somewhat of... I don't know how it couldn't draw emotion out of you.
Exactly. It's...
And I don't see anything on this list, even with a list as heavy as the Andrew Ryan moment. I think the Mia moment's great, but I don't think it hangs. I think that Bastion has to win this.
Yes.
And I know that you haven't played it, so I'm not like trying to override your opinion, but I know you well enough that I feel like if you experience this, you would understand why it is as it is. Bastion's ending, I think, wins this and is an amazing example of how you can be very subtle and get your point across and make people think without having to be wordy and overly explaining things. You can be very subtle and get something across without having to do walls of texts. And that's just it's an amazing thing. It's worth the award.
Yes. Congratulations, Bastion.
Yes, exactly. I know.
All it took was stabbing my heart several times, but
and it does it in rapid succession. Great fucking video game. Let's listen to our next category.
Hello everyone, my name is Tanner. I was on the What Counts as a Super Mario Game episode of File Corrupted, and I'm happy to be back, and Michael asked me to read off some of these nominees for Most Frustrating Design Decision. So, with that in mind, the nominees are Locking Yourself from the Good Ending, No More Heroes. The Mandy Storyline, Bully. The Whole Damn Game, Sonic Adventure 2. The Tower, Metal Gear Solid. I just want to take a little bit of issue with Sonic Adventure 2. I actually had Michael read a prepared statement on that episode. You can listen to it if you want. Eric, I think you did not give that game a fair shake. Not that it deserves it. It's awful, but it still deserves something. Anyway, can't wait to be on the show again. Y'all have a lovely evening.
Most frustrating design decision. Moments we were pissed off. There's a few on here that I really want to talk about. Let's go ahead and throw this out there. Sonic Adventures 2 is a whole damn game.
But at the same time, you said you really enjoyed those Sonic stages. I think if you want to limit it to just the Knuckles stages, I'd be willing to concede. Or just that Mad Planet Rouge level, the one that made you fall off the game entirely.
The Rouge level, yeah, it's the only game this season I didn't fucking finish. The Rouge level and the Knuckles level.
The space ones.
Oh, so fucking terrible.
The space levels in Sonic
Adventure. Fly around, like, how's that bad?
Oh, it makes you appreciate Mario Galaxy's gravity.
You son of a bitch! No, dude, I hate those levels with so much of a deep passion, and
I can't defend those.
No, I know you can't because you can't. You can't.
So if you're willing to say instead of this whole video game, don't you drag City Escape in with those Knuckles levels?
Let's go ahead. And I said it's sort of hyperbolic.
Yes.
But let's go ahead and say the Knuckles Rouge levels.
Gotcha. Also in here.
Locking yourself from the good ending was another one for me, or No More Heroes.
I'm still mad about that. The
fact that if you click one button, you can't have the actual ending.
This part I don't remember. What are you talking about?
So remember how you had the final boss fight and got the good ending? Because you said watch ending or true ending. I was like, I don't have time to do the true ending yet, so I'm gonna see what this fake ending is.
Gotcha.
And then it takes you back to the main menu, and you're like, okay, and you press start.
And it's just right back at the mansion.
Yes. And so in order to get the real ending, I'd have to play the entire game again. 10 hours of No More Heroes just to get a chance at that boss fight one more time. Just because I was like, let's watch the joke ending first.
Yeah. Okay. Literally because you went behind door number 1 instead of door number 2.
That might be it.
Yeah.
I know Knuckles is hard, but having, at least if you fail a Knuckles level, it doesn't kick you back to City Escape.
Yeah, yeah. And the fact is literally a door number 1, door number 2 situation. Like,
I mean,
there's no text there.
Quote I guess this is actually Michael's. You know the stakes. You know the stakes.
No, you know.
It literally says the true ending.
But it says ending.
It's the end of the game.
True ending. So but you start off with the one you already selected.
The game has checkpoints up to that point. Why wouldn't it checkpoint you at that exact screen?
That's fair.
It doesn't make sense. And the fact that I guarantee this also probably, I don't know that this isn't like Suda51 going, ha ha ha, screw these idiots, but.
I'm sure it is, but like that doesn't mean it's fun.
No, it's even more than like the Knuckles levels. At least it doesn't. At least you have the decency. At least it has the decency not to like kick you back. Well, there is a life system, but at least it just kicks you back to that level. At least it's not like you gotta play the whole game again.
No, I think Sonic Adventure was not nearly as frustrating as that one. The tower is on here for Metal Gear Solid. The tower sucks, but we were all able to cheese it so easy. I feel like that shouldn't be on here.
Yeah, but it's worth mentioning.
Because I think me and you, Nick, both did the stun grenade trick.
I just kept running.
You just kept running. I did stun grenade on Michael. I think you did a stun grenade trick or something like that.
Yeah, stun grenades, chaff grenades.
Yeah, like I feel like because of that, it shouldn't be on here just because it is easy.
It's worth mentioning because it's bad.
It's shitty. Don't get me wrong, but damn, it's not that bad.
And then there's the Mandy storyline from Broly.
Yeah, Mandy's storyline is
gross.
In the Mandy storyline in Bully, there is a cheerleader who has some compromising photos taken of her that you take. You take the compromising photo for somebody else.
Because they're trying to... They really want the photos, but they're like, this will help take down the jocks if you mess up their...
He just wants the photos.
He just wants the photos.
And you know this. And you take the photos of her in like the shower and shit. And then he posts them all over town. So you have a mission in which you have to run around and cover up the photos. So
as he's running around and putting those photos up again.
It's a very frustrating mission, but also it's a very, like, the context of it is very sickening.
But the thing that, like, almost gets it is that it almost gets it right at the end, because when you go back to Mandy, she's crying because she's the one facing trouble because those photos were placed all over town. Like, I'm the one getting expelled. I had the photos taken of me. I did nothing wrong. So then Jimmy fixes the problem, and then he's rewarded by making out with Mandy
and
at the end.
Yeah, they fuck it up at the end.
Yeah.
Like, if we talked about the only thing you had to do is have Jimmy realize, fuck, I fucked up. And either come clean and tell Mandy, like, I fucked up, I did it, and I tried to and I fixed it. Instead, he creates a problem. The girl gets her life ruined or, by the problem. And by fixing the problem he made, he gets rewarded. It is, like, it's extremely tone deaf.
It's the worst part of Rockstar cynicism.
Yeah, and it's not even done in a way where you're supposed to be like, see, Billy got freaking rewarded by being an asshole. Like, it just feels like they just didn't grasp the concept that he just created a problem, fixed it, and therefore got rewarded for it.
All he had to say was, hey, this was my bad. I'm sorry.
I fucked up. I fixed it.
I know you can't forgive me, but I wanted to come clean.
Yeah, and then just don't have him make out with her. That'll be like, she can either be like, I forgive you, or she can be like, I'll never forgive you for this. He doesn't have to get forgiveness for this shitty thing he did. But the fact that instead, he never tells her he did it.
And it's never brought up again.
It's a fucking bad
You get to beat the crap out of the guy who did it in the next chapter, though. So
but he doesn't beat the crap out of him because
he did that.
He beats the crap out of him because he's trying to take over your empire.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even... It's not like even why he beat the crap out of him. Like...
The only reason I kept punching him on the ground was because of that moment.
Oh, I did. Well, fuck that little nerd. Fuck that nerd. My inner, freaking... the bully came out in me. I was like, fuck this little nerd. We're going to keep beating shit out of
I don't think it wins, but it's worth
noticing, and it's worth saying that it's a piece of shit storyline.
Do better. Anyway.
Do better. Fuck you, 2009 Rockstar?
2006.
Fuck you, 2006 Rockstar. I think it's the No More Heroes line.
Yeah. At the context of the fact that you have to play the entire game again to even get a second chance at that is...
Nick, I feel like feels different because he didn't fucking...
You're the only one who finished that game. So, yes, in a way, Sonic Adventure 2 was not the first game we didn't finish. Because we technically didn't get the ending of No More Heroes.
Yeah.
Nick was our representative.
Nick was our representative.
Okay.
And apparently there was 5 plot twists in that final scene, too.
Yeah.
I don't think we missed much. I don't care about the
That being
lore.
said, I don't remember anything that happened in
Yeah.
that you fight Simon, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think the lore of No More Heroes is the selling point. So, congratulations, No More Heroes.
In a game that has like such amazing moments in it too, that just soured me on the whole thing, and I'm still mad when I think about No More Heroes and the fact that it locked me out of the good ending. So, congratulations, Sonic Adventure 2. You avoided the Knuckles level somehow avoid being scrutinized.
Right.
but also screw those levels.
Yeah, fuck those levels.
But the Sonic levels are so good.
Last category.
Hello everyone, Tanner again. I'm the Super Mario expert and Sonic Adventure 2 defender, recurring guest of the podcast, and I am here to go over the nominees for Best Soundtrack. I want to note in advance, there are some Japanese names on here, and I am not a Japanese speaker, so I apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. With that in mind, here are the nominees for Best Soundtrack. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard by Akiyuki Morimoto, Miwako Chinon, and Satoshi Hori. Bastion by Darren Korb. Night Trap by Sunny Blue Skies and Martin Lund. Undertale by Toby Fox. Sonic Adventure 2 by Jun Senu, Kenichi Tokoi, Fumi Kumatani, and Tomoya Otani.
Follow me, set me free, trust me and we will escape from the city. I'll make it through, follow me, set me free.
And as long as this is my last appearance on the podcast for the year, no one has asked me, but if you're curious, my games of the year for 2021 were Metroid Dread, It Takes Two, and Shin Megami Tensei 5. I hope all of you beautiful, lovely people have a spectacular 2022. Goodbye, love you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Tanner, for all those Japanese names.
Yes, we appreciate it because we can't pronounce any of those ones. All right, so let's be honest with ourselves here. This is the category in which I'm going to make the defense that you guys have the most argument to say that Undertale deserves to win.
Yeah. Can we just blow it out? Good try, everybody. You're not Undertale.
Yeah. Undertale has a very good damn soundtrack. I am not going to argue this. We will fight over Undertale in the next episode. But I am prepared. I have a thesis statement. It's written up. We will come fully guns a-blazing against whether that deserves to be higher than Bastion or any of the other games. But Undertale's music's fucking good. So, Michael, you want to put in some Undertale music right here? I mean, here's the thing. I ain't gonna argue it's good shit. I don't usually like chiptune kind of music a lot.
And it's not all of that too. Like it changes. There's so many different genres in Undertale. From like it does like the 8-bit style thing, but it also goes with like there's a dance pop boss fight song. There's like piano riffs. Just when you go to like the end section, and it's just an acoustic guitar, just playing like this. It's the same rhythm over and over again, but it's so emotionally resonant. in that moment. There's a sweeping like orchestra bit for a 6-second bit where you grab a bird and jump over a gap, and it's like the most epic music in the game.
Yeah.
It's every like even like the joke songs don't even the joke songs are bops. It's insane. There are 100 tracks on this soundtrack, and all of them are very, very high quality. And this was if it wasn't for Undertale, I'd be pushing for Bastion in this list because Bastion also has an amazing soundtrack. But I think just the veryness of Undertale's soundtrack is incredible.
I cannot argue with you. I can't. Like I can't. I'm not gonna. Like me, we will fight over Undertale. I know it is coming. But the one aspect of Undertale I won't argue with you is the soundtrack. There was some good soundtracks in this year. Bastion's soundtrack is very good. It's not as memorable by any means. I put RE7's on there because that's more sound design to me than soundtrack, really.
Yeah, even like it's great sound design.
It's great sound design, but it's not got the memorable moments.
It's all but it doesn't have to be memorable. Like even, I was listening to some of the soundtrack, and there's like the garage sound, but the soundtrack when you're listening in the garage has like sirens in like the distance, and that makes you feel like so much more isolated because they're not coming for you too. So like it all adds to like that atmosphere.
I think about like inside the trailer. The slow peacefulness of it does the classic save room soundtrack. I think there's some good sound design in there. It's not nearly as memorable as Undertale. Kenny Omega did not come out to any of those soundtracks. He came out to Undertale's soundtrack.
What?
He has a entire for Halloween 2019. He came out with a custom made by the guy who made Undertale intro sound that references all of his career moments. It has Sans in it.
He dresses up like Sans for the match.
With the Sans, like his gear matches Sans. He even has the mask. He's humongous. He's a big fan. But it has the soundtrack from Undertale he came out to. He did it only once for Halloween.
Yeah.
But it was a good intro. Damn good intro. But and like I said, custom made by the guy who made Undertale, so like it fits the vibe entirely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't argue that, man. I mean, I feel like it's a lock, right?
Yeah, it is. But I feel bad if we don't go over everything else. We talked Resident Evil 7. Bastion has a very like frontier style soundtrack, very like
acoustic
grooves and everything, and even like the lyrical bits are so good. Like Zia's song "Build That Wall" is like
there
on
is
my
songs
music list. Like
in there that are very good. It's a more relaxing soundtrack. It's very subtle.
I have that saved alongside the Undertale soundtrack as like, but they're very different vibes.
Yeah. I think the advantage of the Undertale soundtrack is just how varied it is and how much range that guy has. He's got a lot of fucking range, man, and I can't deny his talent. Some could say Undertale is just a way to get more music across, but I have that fight.
Also Night Trap.
Night Trap just has their one song.
That's the theme song.
Been caught in Night Trap. That's just that one song and a bunch of 80s like stock music. Like, I mean, not
80s like synth ambience to it too.
Awesome.
So
it's not bad.
That's why it's nominated.
I was about to say.
Is it Undertale? No, it's not Undertale.
Like there's like anytime something bad happens, there's like some synth like down.
The most 80s synth ever in a game that came out like the 90s because they filmed this game in the 80s. I
have that Amber Thiessen t-shirt that I wear every once in a while. It's like that t-shirt was made into a video game.
And then Sonic Adventure 2, amazing soundtrack.
Sure.
I came ready to destroy Michael if he decided to like try.
Live and Learn's a bop.
Come on.
Escape from the City.
I was told
crappy,
it was
yellow
better than what it was.
It's not.
It's
Like
it's an excellent
I'm
soundtrack.
sure it means more to people who played the game and grew up with it.
I feel like if you
I was playing that final boss screaming, live and learn, hanging on the edge of tomorrow. It's so good. I love the soundtrack. I would defend the soundtrack to my grave, and when I talk about varied, it goes between hip hop and ska.
Yeah, but it's the worst. It's the worst. It's like the Dare guy showing up and doing hip hop at your school. Like, yo, kids, don't be doing drugs. Drugs are whack, yo. It's that level of hip hop. Like, no, we will not insert an entire genre. And then ska, it's more on like the Real Big Fish side of ska than like the Streetlight Manifesto side of ska.
Fine. What are we doing?
Yeah, but
what are we doing?
It's like a Real Big Fish cover band. It's like a Goldfinger band.
It's better than Goldfinger.
It's not like a Superman Goldfinger. That's like the only.
I don't
song.
even care. Come at me. I don't care. That song sucks, y'all.
You hate what?
Yeah.
I will
I
fight
don't
you
care.
right now. You got
There's better bands on that soundtrack. There's better bands on other soundtracks.
I mean, there's better bands. Of course, there's better bands on the Tony Hawk soundtrack.
I'm just saying.
Than Goldfinger.
I don't care about Goldfinger.
What is it like? You want to talk about the Tony Hawk soundtrack? Because like Lagwagon's on there, Bad Religion's on there,
Rage Against the Machine.
Hey, Testify.
Machine Gun Kelly's now on that soundtrack.
Nice.
They had Bloody Valentine.
That's not a bad song.
That's a great song.
It's fine. It's not a bad song. I like that song.
I can make Eric mad right now, but I won't.
Let's do it.
It sounds like an Alkaline Trio song.
It does.
You can go to fucking hell.
It definitely sounds like a Skiba song.
It sounds like a Skiba song from like now, not a Skiba song from
Whatever,
like.
man.
It's not from Hero to Infirmary. Here's the thing. I love
my favorite Alkaline Trio song is "Calling All Skeletons." So that's
a good song. Yeah,
it's a good song, but it's
that's
not.
like one of Skiba's best.
Really?
Yeah. That's how I feel, man. I'm a Dan guy. If we're really getting into the weeds on this video game podcast about which singer-songwriter is their favorite in the Alkaline Trio bands, Dan all the way.
Sonic Adventure 2.
All
I'm
of Dan's
giving
solo
us-
shit slaps.
It's been about two hours. I feel like I'm committed at this point.
Yeah, this is the point.
I'm gonna
where it
say
goes
this
off
right
the
now.
rails.
Hell Yes by Matt Skiba. Armageddon.
That's all the same album, right?
Okay. Yes. Good what's up? We've Had Enough is a damn good song by Matt Skiba. I'm saying that all these songs are better than most of Dan's songs until you get into later Alkaline Trio. Then it switches. The first 5 albums of Alkaline
I feel
Trio
like you
is
just
all
proved my
Matt
point
Skiba.
there.
I like
That's
that.
fun.
First 5 albums are all Matt Skiba show. And then it's Skiba's fault. He goes off the rails. It's not Dan. Dan stays consistent. The same guy who wrote Crawl back on from Here to Infirmary is still the same guy writing songs today. Matt Skiba's the one who all of a sudden decided, fuck, I want to go write Blink-182 songs.
Sure.
Like, that's Skiba's fault.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, peak Skiba. No one gives a shit about this except me, but I'm going to fight this to the end.
9's a good album.
Fuck, man.
Did our numbers just go down after I said that?
He's getting into like Skiba Blink-182 stuff now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 9. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The latest album was pretty good.
Oh,
While I'm at it, I'll piss you off too. Britney Kelly's a fucking better songwriter than.
that doesn't piss me off.
Really?
Yeah,
I
like
thought you
Britney
were
Kelly
Chris
a lot.
guy.
We don't have
Chris.
I don't think we have much.
I like the I like the Chris Lawrence Arms songs better than I like the Brendan Kelly Lawrence Arms songs.
That's the problem.
But I like Brendan Kelly as an artist more than I like Chris.
I like Britney Kelly's Lawrence Arms songs generally, except that last album. Chris fucking kills it on the last album.
I haven't listened to that in a while.
Oh, the Skeleton.
It's good. It's good.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite album in a long time.
But it's just one of those things where it's like you said that and I thought Metro.
Yeah, I like Metro too, though.
It's
I
okay.
like Metro more than you do.
I think it's their weakest album.
Really?
But, yeah.
See, I disagree. I think that what's the one that has porno and snuff films on it? Do you like my body?
I know the song. I don't know the album.
That one's
I
the
can picture
That's the weakest album to me because
that's one of my favorite albums.
It's got good songs on there like porno and snuff films and brick wall views.
Yeah,
it's got some good ones,
Chris
but
song.
it's not as nearly as good as my favorite album is still The Greatest Show.
Same.
Because damn that's a great album.
We all came together at the end.
See, me and Nick can come together. If you would like to just listen to me and Nick talk about early 2000 punk band albums, we can do that. I could be more than happy to spend 2 hours.
Art of Drowning by AFI. Let's get it.
You're gonna have a hard fight here.
I've heard that Miss Murder song by them.
They had some good, like, they were a skate punk band for a while. Like, it was weird.
They made a pirate outfit. It was all right.
They had some weird, like, and they did a bunch of Misfits. They did a decent version of Halloween.
A lot of Misfits.
Yeah,
I listened to their whole catalog over the past few weeks, and now I'm a huge fan.
Oh, I mean,
are you talking about the Misfits?
No,
AFI.
See, I feel like like as a young buck, as a lad, I was a Misfits guy, but I think I just did it for punk cred.
I
think the
still,
older I get, I don't give a fuck about Danzig anymore.
That's okay, but
most of the Misfits songs are just not that good.
Scars is
that's okay. That's the one that I remember.
Scars.
I mean, not obviously.
I would say there's
songs,
I'd say there's like 10 good Misfit songs, right?
I would say there's probably like 3.
No. Scars, Die Die Die, My Darling.
That's bottom of my list. Like not
Eagles
bottom
Dare.
of every. See, it's like that's it. Skulls, Where Eagles Dare, and then Die Die Die, My Darling. I'm just like everything else I can take or leave.
Astro Zombies.
I can take or leave it. I don't care about any of that.
I'm lost. I am very lost.
There was a time when me and Nick had some punk cred. I don't know if you have more punk cred than me now.
I never had punk cred.
But I think your punk cred has changed to I feel like our punk cred is slowly changing. I had a thought about this at the gym today where I was listening to some band that had a long thing about I forget what it is. Like basically, a guy like talking about trying to make time he sees, or he'll be lucky enough to grow into man or something like that. I feel like this song has no appeal to me because I'm a 30-year-old goddamn man, and I feel like my punk cred has changed to different bands are now a part of my punk cred. I digress.
Yes, I don't know. The older I get, I feel like the more when I was younger, I was I would listen to Bad Religion and NoFX and the Misfits, not that those are all to be in the same lump, but I feel like they have a certain degree of punk credibility to it.
I don't know if they do now though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The older I get, I was just you could make the argument that Fat Mike was being ironic, but he's still never going to be as on the mark as a Jeff Rosenstock.
Oh fuck no.
Jeff Rosenstock just knows what the fuck is going on.
Also remember that Jeff Rosenstock is still writing those songs from a relative place of financial insecurity and average man syndrome, stuff.
Yeah, sure.
While remember Fat Mike was writing those songs while running at the time a extremely profitable record label. Yeah. So while he was writing songs for NoFX, Fat Wreck was putting out some big records.
Every other band that you knew in that
exactly.
genre
And remember that
was on that label.
fucking Bad Religion runs. The guy from fucking Bad Religion runs Epitaph, and the lead single of Bad Religion was a professor at a university.
Right.
These guys were not living the lifestyle of the fan base that they were preaching to.
Yeah.
And I would make the argument that NoFX has not aged as well as Bad Religion.
Please play the song
no
on
doubt.
the radio.
Yeah,
that's the one song I know.
From it, NoFX.
Yeah, I think they have a song on Tony Hawk. I can't remember what it was.
Probably do.
Yeah, that is a NoFX song.
They probably would that be they probably have songs like Franco and American and stuff like that on there.
Probably.
Murder the government. Stuff like that. They wouldn't have some of the I tell you right now, I tried to listen to NoFX last year and it didn't go well.
I haven't listened to them in a while.
I some of the songs still hold up well. What is that? Leaving Jesus Land is a good song still, but Bad Religion I can still listen to. I can still listen to Bad Religion today. Not anything past 2010.
I would change it if it came on a playlist or something, but I don't actually seek it out.
No fucking age really bad. The Offspring.
Yeah, I don't fucking listen to them. I saw you.
I tried.
I caught you, dude. I saw you listening to that shit on Spotify.
Americana's a good album.
No, they have some good. I still like I Want You Bad a lot.
That's a great song. That's a really good song.
It helped morph Eric's lifestyle. But freaking Smash is still a good album. What's the one that has LAPD? That's the second album, man.
I don't know. 10 years ago, I could have told you.
Yeah, you were a bigger Offspring
I had
fan.
every album.
When you were a bigger Offspring fan than I was.
Yeah.
I got my closest tinge to punk was getting into Green Day, and then I went the more pop punk route than straight up punk route because I went from them to Fall Out Boy and Motion City Soundtrack. I went to that.
We went
divide
the opposite way.
Right. So that's what I was gonna say. Is I feel like Green Day is the band that got me into music by and large. But
I can't say no. Yeah.
That's American Idiot was my shit when I was
Oh yeah,
we
or
got
something.
that resonated.
Yeah,
I got
and then I
the-
started listening to the older stuff, and then when I listened to the older stuff, I was like, "This is the Offspring. Like they sound the same." And then I went more into the Offspring, then again fell into that trap where I was like, "I gotta listen to the cooler bands. I gotta listen to the Misfits of the world, and I can't listen to My Chemical Romance." My Chemical Romance is a fine band.
They were good.
They're a fine band.
The album that I gravitated most to was Warning, so that shaped my taste, like more the acoustic, like slow side album. So I went more. So from then I went to the adult alternative route. From then,
I really freaking
on.
like.
So-
Warning is not a bad record.
That's a good one.
I would
That's my
say
favorite-
it's the
that's my
last
favorite
Green
Green
Day
Day.
record that's really stands up today. American Idiot to me has nostalgia appeal because that was the album that was big when I was a young man.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so
yeah.
like that was the album that like I was in. Damn, I was in fifth grade.
I don't know. I
maybe
could
fourth
show
grade.
anybody. I could show anybody what's her name, and they'll be like, "Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
song, man."
But like we went back. I remember us like staying very very late up listening to like Kaplunk and being like going through album notes and finding Operation Ivy out of Kaplunk.
Yeah.
Like who's fucking Operation Ivy? And like there's a cover by Operation Ivy called Knowledge, and then listening to Operation Ivy, which probably led to Streetlight Manifesto, which I like still to this day.
Yeah.
Man, we gotta do a punk cast.
Yeah.
Old school punk cast. Man,
Yeah, I went the Fall Out Boy route, so that's where my
Yeah.
musical taste ended up.
we there was a while that we were big. Me and Nick were big on like trying to stay like relevant in the punk scene. Like we tried to listen to what was the bands to listen to.
Yeah.
At least I did a lot where like I listened to like, and some of those bands I liked Banal Pilot and stuff like that.
So, yeah.
But then there was
I'm time coding all of this.
but then there was bands like I like tried to get into bands like I don't know, fucking mixtapes and stuff like that I don't think I would listen to now, but they were the hot thing at the time because that was the orgcore scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Fest was a big thing, which we never went to Fest.
It's kind of sad.
Fuck. You can time camp this shit. Just put it like Eric and Nick jerk off about punk rock from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It was the scene, man. We went to see young upstarts playing music and trying to live the lifestyle. They're now old and we got families and shit.
It's true.
Oh, let's bring it home.
Congratulations,
Yeah, they're
Undertale,
old
best
right
soundtrack.
So we got one more episode for this year you're going to hear, which is the rankings of all of our games. It's going to be an exciting episode. Prepare for Knives Out. Also, we'll be announcing on that episode our next game for the beginning of Season 3, which is going to be very exciting. As always, you can shoot your emails to stateofthesave@gmail.com. You can hit us up on social media at stateofthesave on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Make sure you send in any emails with things like your favorite games of the year, things like that. We'll be more than happy to read those on the show. If you want to send in your favorite punk bands, send in your favorite punk bands, and we'll either roast you on them or tell you you're right. As always, thank you guys for being here. I'm thanking myself for being here also because I showed up. And
Congratulations.
appreciate it. That was meant for our guest that did the thing, but then I realized it doesn't really play that well, so I'm trying to backtrack. The show ends the way it started. Stay safe out there.